shocking betrayal, the murder of Emma Harris. Lakewood, Washington, is known for its quiet, family-friendly environment. A town where life moves at a slower pace, offering its residents a sense of peace and tranquility. But within this serene setting, a tragedy would unfold, one that would forever change the lives of those who loved Emma Harris. A loving mother of two, a brilliant biomedical researcher, Emma's life was tragically cut short, and her death would reveal the terrifying secrets lurking behind the closed doors. Emma Harris was a woman of many talents. Gifted and highly intelligent, she worked as a biomedical engineer, a promising career in the making. In her early 30s, Emma had everything to look forward to: a successful career, two beautiful children, and a husband who, on the outside, seemed to love her deeply. Together, they created the illusion of a perfect family, the kind most people would envy. Don't forget to like and subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Emma and David Harris married in 2010, blending two families. David, an ambitious man with a sharp mind, seemed to complement Emma perfectly. They shared two children, Henry, their young son, and Lily, their lively daughter. For many years, their life appeared flawless. They vacationed together, celebrated holidays with loved ones, and reveled in what seemed to be a perfect marriage. But beneath the surface, the cracks began to form. As time went on, Emma began noticing small but significant changes in her husband. The little irritations grew into something more troubling. David, once supportive and loving, became controlling and possessive. Minor outbursts at first, comments about her appearance or choices, evolved into major acts of emotional manipulation. Emma began to feel as though she were losing her autonomy, but she couldn't quite put her finger on it. By 2023, Emma's discomfort with David's behavior became undeniable. His increasing paranoia, his need to control every aspect of her life, and his tendency to monitor her movements led Emma to question whether their marriage could survive. The person she had once trusted more than anyone was becoming a stranger. Yet, despite these growing concerns, Emma held on, clinging to the hope that their love could be restored. In her search for answers, Emma sought therapy. She confided in a trusted professional about the growing tension in her marriage. Emma spoke about David's escalating need for control, how he would isolate her from friends and family, constantly monitor her every move, and even restrict her interactions with the outside world. She hoped that through counseling, they could find a way to repair the cracks that were slowly but surely shattering their once perfect life. Despite her best efforts to make the marriage work, Emma couldn't ignore the nagging feeling in the back of her mind. Something was deeply wrong. And by October of 2023, the terror she had felt before was beginning to manifest in a way she could no longer ignore. In early October of 2023, Emma began receiving harassing messages. At first, it seemed like an unpleasant inconvenience. Anonymous texts that contained explicit language, photos of her home taken without her knowledge, and increasingly disturbing threats. She immediately thought of her ex-boyfriend, someone from her past who she had no real contact with for years. It seemed plausible that he was behind these messages, until the photos started to include images of her family and the interior of her home. Emma, feeling a deep sense of fear and vulnerability, went to the police. She reported the harassment, hoping that authorities could help track down the person responsible. Yet, as the investigation unfolded, Emma began to feel more and more isolated. Her friends and family reassured her that it was probably nothing, a fleeting issue, but deep down, Emma felt something far more sinister lurking beneath the surface. Don't forget to like and subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Little did Emma know, the true source of her terror was sitting across from her at dinner every night. David Harris, her husband, was the mastermind behind the entire plot. Using a burner phone and a fake email address, David posed as Emma's ex-boyfriend, sending threatening messages designed to scare Emma into submission. He wanted to create an atmosphere of fear, to make her believe that she was in danger. But his real goal was far darker: to control Emma, isolate her, and eliminate her support system. Emma's confusion grew as the messages became more frequent and intense. She felt like she was being watched at all times. David had done his job well. He had planted the seeds of fear in Emma's mind, and she began to doubt her own reality. What started as a simple fear of an ex-boyfriend soon spiraled into a full-fledged paranoia about her own safety, as David's controlling nature continued to manifest in ways that made it difficult for Emma to escape the psychological trap he had set for her. December 3, 2023, what seemed like a normal day would soon become the day that ended Emma's life. She dropped her children off at school and returned to the house that had once been her safe haven. Little did she know, the man she had married was about to strike, and her life would be taken in the place where she had once felt the most secure. David had been preparing for this moment for weeks. He had planned every detail of Emma's murder with precision, waiting until she was alone, ensuring that there would be no witnesses to the horrific crime he was about to commit. As Emma stepped out of her car and into the garage, she had no idea that her husband was waiting, ready to bring his twisted plan to fruition. The moment David struck, everything changed. Emma fell to the ground, unconscious from the blow to her head. David then proceeded to stab her in the chest, taking her life with calculated brutality. It was a cold, emotionless act, one that would destroy not only Emma's life but the lives of everyone who knew her. Minutes after committing the murder, David walked out of the house as though he had just completed an ordinary day's tasks. He ordered coffee at a local cafe, drove aimlessly around town, and acted as though nothing out of the ordinary had taken place. It was chilling, the lack of remorse, the complete indifference to the life he had just taken. Don't forget to like and subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Emma's body was discovered not long after her murder. The investigation began quickly, and soon, David was placed under scrutiny. Authorities found no signs of forced entry, and the scene suggested that Emma had known her killer. It was soon clear that the person responsible for her death was someone close to her. As the investigation continued, discrepancies in David's story began to surface. Surveillance footage from inside the home showed that the cameras, which Emma had installed for protection, had been tampered with. One of the cameras had even been covered with tape, and DNA traces found on the tape were later linked to David. Digital forensic evidence sealed David's fate. The burner phone he had used to send the harassing messages was traced back to him. His phone records, as well as internet searches linked to the crime, revealed that David had been planning Emma's murder for months. David Harris's trial became a media spectacle, capturing the attention of the community and the nation. His defense team argued that the evidence was circumstantial, claiming the police had rushed to conclusions. They suggested that there were no direct links between David and the murder. But the prosecution laid out a damning case. They presented the evidence: David's meticulous planning, the harassing messages, the tampered surveillance footage. The coldness with which he carried out the murder, and his complete lack of remorse, were undeniable. As the evidence piled up, it became clear that David Harris was guilty of Emma's murder. In the end, David Harris was found guilty on all charges. The jury convicted him of first-degree murder, stalking, and criminal impersonation. The sentence: life without the possibility of parole. Emma's family, though grieving, found solace in the knowledge that justice had been served. Though Emma's life was tragically cut short, her legacy lives on through her children, her family, and the fight for justice that led to David's conviction. Her story serves as a reminder of the hidden dangers that can exist behind closed doors, even with those we trust the most. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and leave your thoughts in the comments below.